Hello and welcome to your daily crypto news. We are starting a new series where we're going to be interviewing personalities in the cryptocurrency space and social media and all kinds of different related spots for cryptocurrency. So today we are going to be interviewing CryptoBreakfast. You might have seen him on Instagram. You might have seen him on Twitter. A lot of his videos have gotten a ton of likes, a ton of retweets. He's a very interesting character. So CryptoBreakfast, how are you doing?
Oh, hello, bit boy. And how are you doing?
It's good to see you. I'm doing good. Good to see you.
Would you mind actually? I'm very uncomfortable. I need to get more comfortable. And there we go. Much better.
That's the gear right there.
This is my favorite T-shirt with my heroes in the crypto world, BitBoy and Hodl. So I thought I had to plug them real quick.
Yeah. So, well, we certainly appreciate you plugging that. BitBoy is he's out right now fighting Dr. Fudd. So there's a lot of it.
That's the only excuse I'll take. I never see enough of Hodl, so you know.
Well, he's going to be making more appearances soon, I hope. He's a sketchy character. So, but the first question I've got for you, CryptoBreakfast, that a lot of people want to know is, how did you get your name, CryptoBreakfast?
That's a good question, actually. Well, every morning I would wake up and with my friend, I would always talk about crypto and what's going on in the markets, like over coffee and breakfast. And well, usually it was coffee. And then one day, my friend, he texts me, sends me an SMS. He's like, "Crypto breakfast?" And that was when I had this eureka moment where I need to go make videos. So that 5 minutes later, I went and made my first video. And I kind of wanted to be like my hero Satoshi and kind of be a little mysterious. So what could my name be? And CryptoBreakfast just stuck, and the rest is history. And when we met soon after that, I think.
Yeah, we started our accounts at about the same time, and it's been really, really cool to watch you grow. And people, you've been traveling across the world. I saw you in Australia. Saw you in Lambo.
Well, crypto's everywhere, it's decentralized. You can't be in one place.
Yeah, that's true. So speaking of crypto, one thing I wanted to know, and I think a lot of people want to know, is how did you get started into crypto? When did you first hear about it? Just kind of, go through, from hearing about it to where you're at today with it.
Sure. Well, it was a number of years ago. I think probably first in 2012, I was talking to a friend in high school, and he was buying marijuana off of the Silk Road. And I was like, well, that's interesting. We lived somewhere that it was illegal at the time. I live in California now where, it's quite legal. And he told me about this Bitcoin. I was like, well, what's Bitcoin? He described it. And, I had this small period in my life where I played the World of Warcraft. Maybe you've heard of it.
Yes.
And it's great, fantastic game. And they have digital gold. So the idea was boom, I totally got it. It made complete sense to me. And I kind of, when I heard about this Bitcoin, I had this gut feeling that it was going to be huge. I can't describe it, maybe it's like what hearing about the internet was, years and years ago.
Or the Segway scooter.
Sorry?
Or the Segway scooter.
Yeah, the Segway. Hopefully not. It's a Segway scooter, maybe. And then after that, I was actually about to move to Russia. I lived in Moscow for about 6 months, and I'd studied Russian and all that. And I was kind of worried about, being in a foreign country with no money, and maybe I get robbed, and what do I do? So I bought some Bitcoin, thinking maybe I'll always have my private key, and I can always access my Bitcoin. And, I went to Russia, but the thing is, then there was a massive dip. I think it was in 2014 or 15 or something. And I saw my value plummet. I wasn't trading. I totally just gotten it for, to hold on to as digital gold, and then I forgot about it. I was focusing on my studies and other things. And honestly, at the time, I didn't even know what a blockchain was. I had no idea. I'd never even heard the term. I think a lot of people. And then I noticed it again when the market started picking up a year or two ago. And I was like, holy shit, what am I even doing? I need to focus on this. This is important. And I remembered that. And I jumped back in, I jumped back in a big way. And I think the rest, well, we'll see where we go, I guess.
So, that kind of goes into another question I wanted to ask, because, with crypto Twitter and crypto Instagram, like there's a lot of personalities on there, and, you don't really know who's serious about investing, who's just in it because, you kind of like the community and you kind of buy into blockchain. Like, how seriously do you take investing?
Well, contrary to my account and all the memes and funny videos, I take investing very seriously. To me, kind of what separates, this might sound stupid, but what separates the rich from the wealthy is, well, the rich buy liabilities, they buy Range Rovers. You know what? The rich buy Lambos, to be perfectly honest. And the wealthy take their money and they invest it in assets, which are things that will bring them more wealth in the future,
Like
so as much as I like Lambos, sorry? Like Tron, you said?
Yeah.
Maybe, it's up to you.
Sorry.
So yeah, I think you need to invest for your future if you can. It's a smart idea.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's definitely a good outlook to have. And right now, of course, with the markets down, nobody's making money, but when they come back, that's the attitude I think it's going to take to really go to the next level. So in your portfolio, kind of what does your breakdown look? A lot of people, they like to invest in a couple things. Some some people have 20 different coins they own. What does that breakdown look like for you?
This isn't financial advice, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay, good. This is not financial advice. Well, I'm a big believer in the Bitcoin. Generally, I try to keep about 40%, at least 40% of my portfolio in Bitcoin. I used to keep about 30 to 40% in Ethereum or Litecoin, but that's shifted a bit around now. Well, now I think I keep around 25, maybe 30% in EOS. If you've seen my page, I'm a not so secret EOS shill. Maybe we can talk about that later. But then the rest of mine account, I like to gamble a little bit. So the rest are spread out among other altcoins. Some are are safer, I think. And then there's some that are, not shit coins, but they're gambles, they're risky. But, you gotta want to go to the moon, you gotta take some risks, I think.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I recently bought into Odyssey Coin. You heard of Odyssey Coin?
I haven't heard of it.
It's like 100. It's 150 satoshis. It's like,
okay.
I think it's less
bargain,
than,
right?
Yeah, it's less than a Dogecoin, I think. So, but anyways, I understand that strategy. You got to have some money in something that might moon. You know what I mean?
One of my personal favorites. It's probably never going to get anywhere. It's called Aristica. And there was an ICO, and I bought into the ICO. It's not listed. I think you can. I don't even know where you can trade it, if you can right now. But there's this app that's in Asia and in Russia and everywhere besides the United States, where people can watch other people doing dares. Like, you ever see those crazy Russians doing crazy things? This app already exists, which is why I kind of like the idea, because these people they dare each other to do crazy things. And then now this Aristica app wants to take their tokens and tokenize it, it's like everyone else. But, who knows? It's all crazy.
So I know you mentioned, EOS, so you like that. What are some other projects that you think, have a lot of potential or that you really like?
I'll go through my thinking. Bitcoin to me is king. It was the first to market. It's going to have that advantage forever. And I think every other blockchain owes something to Bitcoin in one way or another. But the way I look at things, I have a couple of metrics that I use, and one of the most important is the people. And for that reason, as much as I'm more bullish, I think, on EOS than I am even on Litecoin or Ethereum. But Vitalik and Charlie Lee are very smart guys, and you don't have to be an expert on blockchains to see that. I think all you really need to do is look at their recent interactions with Justin Sun, and then you can see that they're smart guys. But as I said, EOS is probably my most favorite. I'm most hopeful about it. If you've seen my blockchain and Morty videos, you've seen it. Like I said, that I'm an EOS shill, but I believe in the people. And Dan Larimer, he has so much experience with blockchains that I trust him. He's left other blockchains to pursue this one because he thinks it's so important. And I'm people are going to not like this, but I like Brock Pierce a lot. I think he's a good guy. I actually think he brings a lot of positivity to the space in the crypto world. You look at his Twitter. I think he's a good guy. And despite what that silly man John Olivier or whatever his name was said, it's fine. And also like fantastic. The Mighty Ducks was fantastic. Not a good reason, but I have my reasons.
Yeah, and he was in D1 and D2, and D3 I think was the weakest one of the series, and you have to wonder, is it because he wasn't in it?
I think so.
Anyway, so okay, that's really cool. I think that you talk about Vitaly Buterin and Charlie Lee and even Brock Pierce to some extent. I think that the future of cryptocurrency are personalities. I think that we have to have faces. So that, this series we're doing is called Faces of Crypto, and this is people in our sphere. But even if you take that and go a little bit further, I think that
the crypto face.
Yeah, the crypto face, right? I think that a lot of the projects that are going to be successful are going to be ones that have, something behind them that somebody can recognize. So, what do you think as far as like the crypto community? Like right now, I think it's a pretty tight knit community. Like if you look at Instagram or Twitter, for instance, there's maybe 20 to 30 like pretty big personalities that are outside of like not including your personalities that are included with a project. Like you can think Fluffy Pony or Fluff Pony, whatever his name is, or some of the big developers and stuff like that. But in terms of just personalities in Twitter, there's probably about 20 to 30. I feel like it's a pretty tight knit community. Like, do you see that kind of changing as crypto goes mainstream, or what do you think the crypto community is going to look like in the future?
That's a good question. I think some of the big personalities are here to stay. People who are in the crypto world are super committed to it. So it's just going to grow and get bigger. I think with something like Twitter, I'm actually quite new to Twitter, and I'm just learning the ropes. And I really didn't like it when I first started, and now I love it because you can have conversations with big people. You have something smart to say. They're going to listen. So I think the conversations are just going to get better and better. That being said, like with more people, there's good people and there's bad people. That's not going to change. Look at what happened with Centra. I actually realized I grew up with one of the people in Centra, and I was like, whoa, that's kind of surprising, but not surprising. So we just need to.
One of the guys who actually was a big influencer with Centra is DJ Khaled, and I've listened to a lot of his songs.
Well, he's the best.
He is the best, yeah.
I don't know. That's just the thing. A lot of people don't do their own research. They hear about crypto. They want to get in on the bandwagon, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But don't. If you're a personality, you have somewhat of a responsibility. Like DJ Khaled. Don't put your name on something unless you really know what's going on.
Yeah. Well, I think I think this does bring up a good point, because, like you said earlier, that you had bought Bitcoin and you didn't even know what blockchain was. And for me personally, I got into Bitcoin back in 2012 as well. I wish I wouldn't have sold all of that I had back then. But, I also didn't know what blockchain was. I just knew it was a sketchy way to pay for this computer program that I had to have for a business I was running. And I didn't know about any of it. And it was really just by getting kind of more involved in the actual community of crypto over the last several months, like 6 months or so, that it's by being part of that community that's helped me grow and helped me to learn more about it. So I think that, we almost take for granted what it would be like to be someone brand new coming into crypto right now,
It's funny. Look at people like making fun of noobs and like, okay, maybe it's a little funny, but like we've all been there, and I think some of my greatest teachers in crypto wasn't like a blog post or whatever. It's actually real people. I'm in some chat groups like on Telegram and Instagram that I really value, and I've learned so much. Like when I've made friends in the real world with people who I met over Telegram, and I never thought that would happen. Look at I really love the Steemit community right now. Yeah. I'm just getting into them, and they're funny people. They help you. And I think that's one of the strengths of crypto is that what's the phrase that Bitcoin is based on? Like was it strength? I forget the Latin, but it's like strength in numbers, and that's what crypto's all about.
Yeah, and I think that maybe if people did not make fun of so many of the noobs, maybe the market cap would be higher right now.
Yeah, and help people. Like, I had a friend who bought at the all-time high. He didn't ask me for advice before that. He just did it, and I wish I had been there to grab him like this and say hold, or sell and buy back in at least, But now he's out of crypto, and I know people in the finance world who, well, they've got like hedge funds, and they like, oh, but I need to invest in crypto. And the thing is, they don't have the same long-term perspectives that we do. Like, if I hadn't gone through that dip a while ago and then started paying attention to the markets, I wouldn't have realized, like, I back like 5, 6, 7 years ago, I didn't know what a market cycle was. I didn't know that these things happened. Yeah. And so I think it's up to us to sort of hold the hands of the new people and get them up to speed and tell them that everything's going to be fine, because I think it will be fine.
Yeah, and I think it's so important for the community in general in crypto to just be more embracing of people coming into the space, for sure, because that's really the future. That's the only way it's going to go mainstream. And so sometimes I feel like when I get on Reddit's a tough crowd. I feel like I get on there and I'm just like, these are a bunch of people that really thrive on downvoting stuff, like, and if your stuff doesn't meet the bar, then they're going to downvote you and push people out of the community. I compare it to, I made this comparison before. I feel like Reddit is people that, don't listen to mainstream music for the sake of not listening to mainstream music. They're like, oh, that's mainstream, so I don't like it. They're like, oh, this guy doesn't have enough karma, or, this guy's YouTube channel doesn't have enough subscribers. He must not be good. And, the funny thing is, I feel like they're followers in a way. So if a lot of people get on there and like stuff and upvote it, then people will jump on it and do it afterwards, But I feel like it's really important for us to embrace people coming in. It's the only way the market cap's going to grow. And for us that are personalities in crypto, it's the only way that we're going to grow. So, because right now the crypto community is very, very small. It's super tiny. It'll be good when we have so many personalities that you don't know everybody, but you pretty much already know all the big players. And, when we're in a space where some of the biggest accounts will respond to you on Twitter, it's a very small community. So, I mean, you're not gonna, tweet Brad Pitt and he's gonna respond to you. You know what I mean? Not that I would, but, just for example. So
we were talking about it the other day when I did a blockchain with Modi that it was an EOS one, when I made fun of Brock Pierce a little bit, in a nice way. And he saw the video and he liked it. And I heard that he shared it with some friends. So I was like, well, that's, it is a very small community. And I think for those of us who mean well, like, we're all going to rise up together, and it's going to be there's a bright future for those who actually can see the light at the end of the tunnel. These English phrases are a little difficult.
So the last question I've got for you is by far the most important question. Everybody wants to know this. When moon, though?
When moon? BitBoy, do you feel that? Do you feel that?
What?
I think the rocket is taking off right now. It's a tough question. You could go the John McAfee route and say, like, 2020, but nobody knows. I think it's inevitable. I think we'll see it in the next year or two. It could happen much sooner than that. Get your astronaut suit ready. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I think that nobody knows, obviously, but I think we all know that it is coming. It's just a matter of when. So, well, Crypto Brokers, we certainly appreciate you joining us. It's been a great interview, and I feel like I've learned a lot from you, and hopefully our audience will as well. So, we just appreciate you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
I just want to thank you for having me on the show. It was an honor, and I love my shirt, as I've said many times. Great shirt, and I'm very excited for the rest of the BitBoy and HODL adventures. So I'm going to stay tuned.
All right. Well, thanks, Crypto Breakfast. We'll talk to you later.